What's up, Carlo? How's it going, man? Yeah, we're bouncing back and forth. This is ES right here. What's up, Santi? How's it going, man? Mars, what up? It's been a heck of a dump that we've had. It's crazy. See if it continues today. Wouldn't be surprised. Appreciate the follow, Manny. Can you explain breaker blocks by chance? I'm having trouble understanding. Yeah, can do that super quick. See if we can find one. This is kind of a breaker block right here. So you have low, high, lower low, and then the higher high right here on this candle closure. So the way you'd mark this out, the easiest way to remember this is, what's up, Brain? The easiest way to remember this is, you see how this is the last leg up? Imagine that there's a key level right here. I'm sure there actually is. Yeah, it was London low. So this is the last leg up before a sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher, and then you get the reversal. And it's only a valid breaker once you get, so you would have the beginning formations of a breaker with this right here, right? And then you see price go up here. Well, if it just continues higher, you don't have a breaker. What you need is, you need this candle right here to close below where that last down close candle was there. So this right here is the candle that validates it as a breaker. So this is the last leg down before a sweep higher, the last leg up before a sweep lower. That's the breaker. And the way that the textbook, you'll hear people talk about low, high, lower low, higher high. Or high, low, higher high, lower low. See how this is a lower low than that low right there? So that's a breaker. Does that make sense, Adam? Yeah, I use the body. Some people use the wick. I use the body. I use the body. What do breaker blocks do? So Tom, ideally those are a level of support or resistance. That's the thinking behind them. So if it's a long that you're taking, so you're using that as a level of support. If it's a short that you're taking and the breaker's above you, ideally it's a level of resistance, meaning you would expect price to not pierce that. It was going to go lower first before it pierces that again. So you could ideally put your stops above it or below it, depending on if it's a long or a short. In this case, if it was a long, you would have your stops below the breaker. That way you know, hey, if price does pierce through this breaker or close below this breaker, it's no longer valid and might as well get out of the position, because there's a really good chance price is going to continue lower, or in the other case, higher. Is that green yesterday? Yeah. Took a little trade. Took a little AM or PM trade yesterday. Let's see what we got here. Took a small, so I have 10 accounts rolling right now. So as of, I think I activated the 10th one like around here. But yeah, this is what we did yesterday. We did 1,800. I think I posted it on my story. So yeah, we're having a decent month so far. One day at a time, though. I don't count your chickens before they hatch. Got 800 on the long after it hit the gap. That's exactly what I did too, Coop. It's exactly what I did too. I was a short play actually. I did basically it dug into the gap a little bit. That daily gap is what you're talking about, right? Not the new week opening gap. There was a daily gap below us on ES that it dug into. As soon as it dug into that daily gap, I took like, I only made like $200 per account, so it wasn't like a big day or anything. But it's enough to. Really the reason I took the trade was I wanted to get a trading day registered, because you got to have registered trading days with a $50 profit or more. So that was the main reason I took the trade. Took a small loss yesterday. Hopefully we can recover some today. Randall, I wouldn't look at it like that. You learned from yesterday. Today's a whole new day. Don't chase the losses. I think the mindset of just worrying about today, being green today, whether it's as much as you lost yesterday or not, just look for good setups. I blew 19 Apex accounts because I forgot to close my buy limit. I've been there. I blew a large percentage of my personal capital account that way. How do you mark midnight open? At 12 Eastern time, 12 a.m. Eastern time. What's up, Nora? Nora, just saw you. This is ES right here. We'll take a trade on whatever looks more clean. This is a pretty clean setup right here, coming out of the sweep of these two key levels. This 15-minute breaker here. If this candle closes in the next 6 minutes above this level, this would be a breaker. Potentially, if this candle closes above, and then you got a gap, I think, inside of this. On the 2 minute, is it? Yeah, on the 2 minute, you got this bullish gap right here. This would be a clean potential setup here, but I'm not taking a pre-market trade. I've set that in my rules, and I'm sticking to it regardless of how juicy the setup looks. So this isn't a valid breaker either until this candle closes. Got another 5.5 minutes for that. NQ took lows and ES has yet to. Well, there's ES taking London low and New York PM low from a while ago. So, those are two pretty good lows right there. Yeah, they're almost completely in lockstep, Bryson. I looked at gold earlier, man. It was dumping. What's my bias today? Dude, we've been dumping for 2 days straight now. It's pretty severely. What have we dumped? On ES, we've dumped 221 points, and on NQ, we've dumped almost 1,200 points. So the bottom has to be somewhere. I think we sweep this daily wick right here. This is a daily wick from Friday, November 7th, a week ago. So I think we could come down here and sweep this area and then go up, or we just turn around right where we are. Jack says, what's your daily bias looking like? Seems like we've been dumping these last. Yeah, Jack, that's exactly what I was just saying, man. I think we got to be done dumping at some point. Maybe not until next week, but maybe today. We'll see. Okay, but why not pre-market trades? Just I haven't had as much success trading pre-market as I do when the market's actually open and rolling. So, just not worth it for me personally. I've been burned pre-market too many times. Exactly, Coop. Yeah. Okay, but like the bottom of the hours or top, how do you know what? How do you know when marking it? Oh, I got you. Here, I'll show you. So this indicator, if you use the ICT kill zone and pivots, like I use to mark out the sessions, it also marks out midnight for you. So what you have here, I'll drop to a lower time frame. So it's basically right there at, let's see, let's get a better hourly candle here. Where's she at? I actually have this a little mismarked, so thanks for saying something. So it's the bottom of this candle right here. Which would be the open. It's the open of the 12 o'clock candle. There you go, Reaper. What's up, Tyrone? How's it going, man? Would there be a 15-minute breaker on NQ? Let's see. Yep. If the candle in 2 minutes, if this candle closes above this previous high, then yes, that would be a valid breaker. Need the candle to close above this level here. Is that an indicator for the draws on liquidity? Yeah, it's the session highs and lows, which are the draws on liquidity, yeah. You do the opening of the candle, Noah. I don't know if you said that before. I said that earlier, but I'll say it again. The opening of the 12 a.m. candle, where the 12 a.m. candle opens. Potential breaker. Potential breaker, because it's not, I didn't spell out potential, but potential breaker. We need the candle to close up here. I'm just pre-marking it, telling you what I'm looking for there. So if this 15-minute candle closes above this previous high right here in 50 seconds, this would be a valid breaker. If it doesn't, at that point, it's not yet a valid breaker. You use breaker gaps like a fair value gap where it can get respected. Yeah, breaker blocks is what they're called, Jack. I mean, I guess you could call them breaker gaps. Breaker blocks is what I call them. But exactly, like in this case, this would be a level of support. If this were to be validated and actually form, it would be a level of support. So what ideally you would do is you would take this trade. If you did take this trade for a long, you'd be targeting New York or London high up here, and you would theoretically have your stops below this candle wick right here, or you could be tighter than that and put it just below the breaker. Because the thinking is if you get a candle closure below this breaker at that point, or price breaks this level, that this would no longer be a valid level of support. So you're kind of using that as a line in the sand for getting out of a trade. and validating taking the trade to begin with up to here, because the likelihood, I mean, it gives you more of a confluence that the trade will work out. Remy, missed a trade today because I woke up just before London Open. Well, we move on. There you go. It is what it is. It's like a bus, man. The next one will be here before you know it. You miss one, the next one's on the way. Oh, you're Dean? Okay. Yeah, I figured with the caps. You usually come in here with the all caps. So we wait. Yeah, I mean, we're waiting. I'm waiting until 9:30, regardless of whether this forms or not. Time frame is the breaker. It's 15-minute. My bias today that we try to fill the gap down, either reject or push higher, or we sweep these lows and push up after that. We got a couple daily gaps below us here. This is ES. NQ, I think it's a little bit closer. We got this daily gap here where London low is. We have a daily wick low we just swept right here on NQ. This was a point of interest for me. I didn't really have it marked out, but I was keeping an eye on this. We swept this really long wick from last Friday. ES has not. That wick is down here on ES. So I'm keeping an eye on that. That would be a pretty interesting level for me. So we'll keep an eye on that. I got it marked on ES. NQ already swept it. So we'll just see how everything plays out here. Would that be considered an SMT? No, it's just because it's only because that they're just moving. This doesn't move as drastically. Like the increments are not as drastic, so I wouldn't consider it an SMT. Yeah, gold has been, dude, I don't know. This has been wild. Somebody's making some serious money off of this. Some serious money. Short and hold open. Hey, with the way it's been going, man, that's not a bad idea. I don't do trades like that, but it would be interesting to see somebody do that. If you do it, record it. I want to see it. I'll check out your page. Look like a good longs brewing. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be at least to the swing high or the London high. We'll see, though. I mean, again, we've been dumping tremendously. So, I mean, basically for 2 days straight, almost 3 days straight since Wednesday, really. So Wednesday was a doji candle on the daily, and then it just dumped. So maybe it's done, maybe it's not. Ticker paper trade to see what would happen. Up 12K, yeah. Yeah, Randall, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We're about to find out in 10 minutes and 15 seconds, though. Bookmap is on ES right now. Are you asking to see it? It's pretty thin, man. There's not a whole lot going on there. On ES, there's some orders stacked at 6702.50. So this level, right above where this candle is, basically where we need a closure here to get this as a valid breaker. C-Bum back at it again. Man, if I keep skipping the gym, I'm going to stop hearing that pretty soon, to be honest. I haven't been at all this week. Starting to look a little deflated. Starting to look very deflated, man. Haven't been eating right. Haven't been working out. I'm about to get back at it this weekend, though. Significant orders down at 66, 65. There's literally nothing on my chart at that level. I'll show you what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything down here. I mean, you got 211, whatever that is. I don't even know. I think that was something that got yanked. There's nothing showing up there on the... And this is ES, or NQ, because somebody was asking. I don't know why it does this, where it like looks... I think this is an internet thing. I don't know. I have fiber internet, so that shouldn't be it. But sometimes, like when the market opens, this won't be as like obscure. It'll be more like this. So this is ES. This is NQ. Maybe if I turn that, yeah. There we go. There we go. It's a little better. Mo better. It's on yours, JW? Down at 65, you said? Which data feed are you using? The bookmap data or the Rhythmic? What's up, guys? How's it going? JW or Ty, what up? Balas, is that how you say your name? Or Balas? Yeah, JW, you got bookmap, but which data feed? Like if you look at the top corner, see how in the top right here, well, it's not showing you guys that, but where my mouse is, you say connections and it'll say bookmap data, and then you might also have Rhythmic or something. Balas? Second time you pronounced it right? Balas, okay. Gotcha. DX feed. I haven't used DX feed. I've only used Rhythmic and bookmap data, those two data feeds. I haven't used DX. I saw that on there. I'm going to go back to the chart here. What's up, Jonah? I just saw you up there, man. My bad. My bad. Correct, Bryson. Yeah, that's what you would want. You would want, and I think you have a 2 or 3 minute already inside of this. Let's see here. You got a couple of gaps inside of this, so you have a breaker down on the 3 minute too, kind of. 4 minute. There's a 4 minute breaker down here. This is interesting. So you have a little bit of a breaker here as well, with a 4 minute formed inside of it. So this actually is not a bad trade at all if you had gotten a tap back into this 4 minute right here. But again, we're pre-market right now, so this would be an interesting, almost more interesting than that 15. Because this is formed, this is valid. You got the 4 minute inside of it. And I got some like Native American like spiritual music playing in my ear right now. I gotta change this. It's throwing me off. Yeah, so these both are interesting looking here. On the 4 minute, and then the 15 up there. What up, C? Why did S&P go down so much, man? Not sure. We do have market open here in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Slam 2 cups of coffee. I'm ready to go. Took the dog out. YouTube chat. What's good, everyone? Hey, what's up, Robbie? My favorite thing of the live is people asking if he's in a trade. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see. Anybody wondering, you will see. When I'm in a trade, you will definitely see. It'll be on the screen. NQ might be the move. It is looking clean. 15's looking clean there. Did we form on the 4 as well? Yeah, we got that 4 minute breaker right there on the, not as strong of a 4 minute gap inside. It's kind of outside of it right there, but we'll see what happens here. That is a clean 4 minute breaker. But again, this is pre-market, so these are less likely to, in my opinion, less likely to stay as support levels. You get the injection of all the liquidity in the market as soon as it opens here, and it can just drive price right through those levels. How do you mark the levels again? ICT, kill zone, and pivots. How do you know what time frame to follow? I like higher time frames. Obviously, when you're on the lower time frame, you can get in earlier and have a shorter stop, a tighter stop. You know, if you're in a 15-minute here and you take it inside of this gap, your stop's going to be all the way down here. But if you were to take a 4-minute trade off of this and your stop's in the same place, it's a lot tighter. But this is forming up decently here. We'll see what happens. Look at that rejection on the 5, right out of that 4-minute gap. Not yet, Ballas, not yet. You going for longs today? We'll see. We shall see. A lot of orders stacked up here down to the downside on ES, just coming in down to 66.75 area, which would be down to here. So I would be careful taking a long, even with this setup here. I'm gonna clear these marks because I don't want people to just blindly be getting into a trade here. Because these orders to the downside right now, I would not take this trade. Market setup right here, market structure wise, man, this looks good. But when I'm looking at this book map, I'm not convinced that we're ready to go up yet. You help me stay confident, brother. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Glad I can help. So if you like bigger time frames, does that mean your trades also take longer to play out? Not always. What's up, Nick? Market open, here we go. patient today, guys. Don't end the week on a bad note here. That's my best advice I can give you. Appreciate that, Taylor. Appreciate that a lot, man. We'll see, Philip. I don't know. I'm just saying it would, with the fact that some of those orders got yanked, but there's still a lot of volume to the downside here. Got more orders coming in even lower now, way lower, down to 66.65, coming down to 66.60 now. So yeah, just be careful in this. Don't be premature. It's never good to be premature. Up 250 on this eval this week. There you go. Up 500 on my ES short. Boom. What's up, Alex? How's it going, man? Yeah, this is a lot of volume to the downside here. Yes, Robbie, it would. Yes, it would. How'd you do on the quizzes you had yesterday? Did really well. I also had a test that I had forgotten about in one of my classes in anthropology, dude. I think I did pretty well on that too. Completely unprepared for it, but was the first one to finish. Felt pretty confident about it. I either did extremely well or I bombed it. So we'll see. There's going to be no in between on that one. I wish I could tell you my strategy that I used, but I don't want to. It's a very politically, I'm sure the professor wouldn't describe it this way, but it's a very politically charged class. So there's a bias that I know the professor has. And so I just answered every question that aligned with his bias. So I think that was the best way to approach it. We'll see. Hey, no, he's not into finance stuff at all, man. He's a who knows? Well, I don't care. I don't think he would disagree with me. Hey, Adam, glad you're up, man. That's awesome. Yeah, me too, Bryson. Pass my eval. There you go. Still got orders stacked up to the downside here. The order book's thinned out a little bit, but we still got orders stacked up to 66.50. Yeah, he's a nice guy though. You know, it's just I think some people it's so heavily ingrained that they probably don't even realize they're doing it. If this trade hits, I did ask to get my first two payouts. There you go, Taylor. Slow and steady though. Don't get overly excited. You know what I mean? Like control that emotion if you can. Celebrate afterwards. You got some pretty heavy orders coming down below us here. I'd be really shocked if this doesn't go down to at least the 66, 65 level. Down to here. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't. 66.70 and then 66.65. Up 14.97 on short. There you go. Might get a little pullback to the 66.77.50 level and then a drop again. Could hit this level and then drop. Boom. There's that. Now let's see if it drops from there. Nothing above us here to keep drawing it higher. So let's see if this just goes down now. Buy orders coming in pretty aggressively here. I don't think it's done, so just be careful here. More sell orders coming in above us. People trying to get into this short, I believe, or get out. I'm not sure which one it is. A couple of orders got yanked down there at the 70 level. Orders still at 65. I'm not sure why my chart isn't loading all of that. You see that on anybody over on the YouTube? You see how it's not loading? It's like half-ass loading the orders down there. Yeah, you still got a bunch of orders below us here. A little more volume coming in above. Yeah, it's fog of war until you get close. Yeah. Need to figure what that is all about. I'm about to close it. Sorry, on the YouTube. I'm about to close this real quick and reopen it. See if it'll refresh, because I don't like that. It's not how it's supposed to look. My FYP brought me back. Yeah, it's still not doing what it should. I'm still thinking that we push a little lower here, but I could be wrong. That 70 level might have been the line in the sand. A couple of orders got yanked lower. Sorry guys, I was trying to figure out why my book map is acting up. I'm sure it's something that a setting or something, but I've got to figure out what it is. Dialogue creation. I don't know. Just let it run for now. Big sell orders coming in. Big sell orders coming in. Appreciate that, Robbie. Yeah, it's there on the side of the screen. It's called Bookmap. Go to bookmap.com or go to my bio and click the link, and it'll take you to the website. No. Who said I'm selling? Candle Kid. I'm not in a trade. I appreciate it, Robbie. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Caught a 15-point short on ES on open. There you go. Yeah, Vanguard, I'm with you on that. I feel like it's clear longs. No, I wouldn't say clear longs. No, I wouldn't say that. Very well could keep going up, but I wouldn't say it's clear longs. At least not for me. I mean, what I'm seeing on the book map and what I'm looking at on the charts, the way that the action's playing out, I'm not seeing clear longs. Got any thoughts on if NVIDIA is going to crash? I don't know, man. I don't know what the heck is going on. I hope not. But if it does, make sure you got some cash on hand and pick some of it up because it's going to go back up eventually. How long have you been doing this? 4 years. Forgot to grab some more LaCroix, man. Pissed. Just got regular water. It'll have to do. What's stopping you from longs here? What I'm seeing on the book map and previous trend. I have tried those. Those are the ones they have them at Walmart, man. I like those. Waterloos. You'd shout for joy if I forgot mine. Man, LaCroix hater. Told myself I was going to ship you a crate of LaCroix once I pass these. You don't have to do that, Robbie. I appreciate that, though, man. That's awesome. It's awesome sentiment. Topo Chicos are good, too, David. Yeah. Yeah, those are really good. I drink them, BR, yeah. I've been sober now. January 6th will be 4 years, man, from the last time I had a drink. And they're a good substitute, especially when I'm out at like an event or something, drinking those, either Topo Chico or LaCroix. Sparkling water tastes like TV static. I've heard other people say that, man. I felt that way too when I was younger. I did not like it, but now that I'm older, I enjoy them. The other thing is I wanted to see us sweep this daily wick from last Friday. I have it marked out down here. This is one of the other reasons I'm not fully convinced of a long yet, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not married to the bias of a short. I just wanted to see this cleaned up at least a little bit before we started going higher. American sparkling water. It's great. I'll check it out. How did I stay disciplined after coming off a substance? Man, I turned my life over to Christ. I know that probably sounds cliche to some people, but that is the only thing that I can tell you has worked. I've tried everything else in the book, man. I've been to rehab multiple times throughout my life. I've tried 12-step programs, done all that. Tried white knuckling it, tried changing locations. I had a spiritual awakening one night, man, where I literally felt like I was getting sucked down to the depths of hell. I saw a hole in my floor. You ever been on that ride at the fair that feels like you're being pinned up against the wall? It was that feeling down to the floor. And I could smell sulfur and I could hear people screaming. And yeah, I woke up the next day. That happened the morning of January 6th around like 2 a.m. Crying, called my mom, bawling like a 2-year-old, man. And I haven't had a drink. I haven't had a desire for a drink, which is unreal because I couldn't go more than a couple of hours without having alcohol in my system, dude. I couldn't, there wasn't a second in my day that I didn't think about drinking. When I was going to be able to get to my next drink, what event I had to go to, could I possibly drink there? If I couldn't drink there, I'd have to be drinking on the way. The clothes I would wear so that I could keep a, yeah. Jesus pulled me out of that, man. So you asked me how I stay disciplined. I don't look at it as me being disciplined, man. I've been saved and I had the desire to drink removed. It's not easy. And I sympathize with people who are still going through it because I know how hard it is. Exactly, Kyle. Yeah. It's a blessing, man. So we're clearly pushing higher here. We got more orders coming down at 6705, down to 6700. And the order book looks pretty thin from 6730 higher. So this line in the sand here, if we push through this 6730 level, it'd be interesting to see what happens next. Appreciate that, Robbie. Appreciate that, Randall. Yeah. Sorry about that, Randall. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Appreciate that, David. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, just so you guys know, anybody that's heard me share that before, I don't share that as like a pat on my own back. I share it because I want other people who might be struggling to have some hope that things can change. Appreciate that, Nick, dude. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate all the support. You're a real one. Can you explain how you use the email issues with TradingView? My TradingView is working. That's what you're looking at right here. It's pretty lined up with my bookmap. It's in sync. Appreciate that, Xavier. So the bookmap just shows you where orders are stacked up. I see you over there. Conversation for another time, Brian. I see. So you asked me how I use the order book. I'm looking at bookmap over here, and it shows level 2 data, which is very helpful with seeing exactly where orders, limit orders are stacked up, where orders, market orders are being placed. It almost looks like a fish finder if you've ever been fishing and used like a depth finder that shows you the levels at which the fish are concentrated. It's like that, but for orders. It's pretty wild. I'm 32, Jay. Yeah, that Friday low got taken on NQ, and I was hoping that it was going to get taken here on ES. That's this wick that I have marked out right here. We got a bunch of orders coming in lower here on ES now. Down to 6,700. I think this could just sweep and then go higher, but we'll see. Appreciate that, Missy. TradingView lag just effed me over. That sucks, dude. I don't execute on TradingView. I execute on Trade-Evate for that reason. Sometimes it does mess up. So if you've seen me post my setup here, I have a ultra-wide monitor where half of it is TradingView and then the other half is Trade-Evate. So when you see me execute a trade, I'm executing it on Trade-Evate, but it'll show here on TradingView. Yeah, I think we keep pushing here, to be honest with you guys. I don't think we're going to get that sweep that we were looking for. Just inverted that 10, pushing into this 15. But we're going to stay patient and wait for a setup. And we're not just going to blind long this. Been trading for 4 years. David, I got you. A lot of news for next week. PPI and CPI, yeah. Be able to review. It's kind of complex to do on live, Brian, to review the settings I have for Bookmap. But what I will do is this weekend I'm planning to put together a lot of content to post. So that'll be one of the things. That is one of the things I have on my list to post for you guys. Is it like a how to set up your Bookmap. So we got Romans 14:13 here. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in your brother's way. I like that. Yeah, we're just pumping here. Yeah, we did take a trade yesterday. I took a very small short. Made like $200 on 10 of my funded accounts. London high is at that level right there. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in your brother's way. Yeah, Randall, are you seeing what I'm seeing on the Bookmap here? This is interesting that we're pushing higher. It looks kind of thin to the upside here, especially up to that 67.30 level. Maybe to there and then turn around, but I don't know, man. Like I would be thinking based on the Bookmap here that we would be pushing lower. That's just what my instinct would be based on what I'm seeing, but that's clearly not what's happening. Sorry, I'm trying to get this so it looks clear. It's kind of better. Yeah, here we go. Do I take payouts through the LLC? Yes. What platforms allow you to copy trade on? I use Apex and Take Profit Trader. Since the Asia low was broken through in the London, do you still pay attention to the Asia low? If the level's been swept, I don't mark it out. Whatever the level is that swept it, like the London low, I would mark that out, whatever that lowest point was. So if London low took Asia, then I'd mark the London low. Do you ever take trades on live? Yeah, that's what we're here for. I've heard really good things about Alpha Futures, Edward. I haven't used it personally yet, but I've heard really good things. Trade yesterday happened at like 3:15 or 3:20. It was late in the afternoon, Dave, or Adam. The main reason I took it was I just wanted to have a trading day registered for my prop firm so that I could take a payout, because you need a $50 profit to have it counted as a trading day. So that was the main reason I took it. But it ended up, I mean, it was not just a random trade. I took it off of a setup, but it wasn't something that I was going to risk a ton on. It just happened to go up 200 per account. How many accounts do you have? 10 right now. I blocked them. I saw it. Yeah. That's the fair value gap indicator. All 50Ks. All my Apex accounts are 50Ks. My take profit traders are 100K. Can I make a video on how to trade with? It's pretty simple, man. I could make a video, but it'd be super short. All you got to do is use your E&I, your what the equivalent for a business of a social security number. You use that to kind of set up to fill out the information the way you would when you enter. You know how when you're taking payouts personally, you use your social security number. You just use your E&I and you do it that way. It's not too complicated. They make it pretty easy, and Apex even has a page that kind of walks you through it. Why pay out through an LLC? When you start making enough money, there's tax benefits to it. You can write things off. You know, if you spend a shit ton of money on evals and stuff like that, you can write stuff off. You can write off Bookmap subscription. You can write off TradeZilla subscriptions. You can do that. So it's beneficial over the long run. You're paying, you know, if you're paying for TradeSync, you're paying for Bookmap, you're paying for TradeZilla, you're paying for these softwares that, you know, some of them like Bookmap, over $100 a month. You know, the TradeSync, I'm paying $150 a month for that because I want the unlimited, so I can have as many accounts on there as I want. That stuff adds up, and you can write all that off. Should I have the LLC before being profitable? I wouldn't worry about it. No, just take it personally. Just take it through your personal checking. Were you able to write off? Yep, Robbie. Yeah, I wrote off monitor, computer setup. You can write off all that stuff. You can even write off part of your a section of your living area, like your house. You're allotted a certain square footage. If you have a home office, you can write off a portion of that. You can write off your internet. Yeah. Not food, not bathroom. I don't know about electric bill. That would be interesting. I think you could probably find a way to justify a portion of it, but I mean, mine's not that high. I live in a pretty small place currently, so. You still end up owing tax and stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. Bookmap worth learning? Absolutely, dude. What's the tax rate in NC? Dude, they've implemented a pretty lucrative tax system here in NC. It's not, right now, it's on like I forgot the system that they're calling it, but it's slowly coming down. Like right now, I want to say it's like the state, fuck, sorry. Excuse my language, sorry. So they've passed this thing where year over year it's going to continue to come down. So right now it's at 4.5%. It's scheduled to fall to 3.9, and then it's supposed to go even lower than that, down in the 2.5% range. They're continuously dropping it with a system that they have in place right now. They have to meet certain budget metrics or something, and then if they meet those metrics, it brings it down even further to continuing to do that. So it's actually a pretty good system in place right now. I did a project on this actually recently, so I should be more well versed on it, or more specific, I should say. Yeah, I'm not sure what this wants to do, Brian, to be honest with you, man. I'm just going to stay patient. It might be, I need something more clear. This is just middle of the range retracement here. So this level at 730 was kind of where orders dropped off right inside of this 15-minute gap. Is NC mainly Scottish and Irish? No. It's becoming more and more other things. A lot of German initially, I think. But Adam, you're wild. Set the daily, you met the daily quota there. As the manipulation of the new 4 hours 10 a.m. candle. Yeah, we're being pretty wiki here. This is what I was saying. I wanted to see this NQ. This is what you were talking about, Nick. NQ had taken that daily wick from last Friday. This one down here. NQ took this and ES didn't. I really wanted to see this get taken right here and then get this move higher. But we don't always get what we want. We got this 2 hour gap above us. We're basically right in the CE. My line here is in the CE of this 2 hour gap. That's the 1 hour gap that we're rejecting out of right now. NQ inverted that 1 hour gap just now, but it's got a 1 hour inversion above it, 2 hour inversion above it, 4 hours, tiny little 4 hour gap here. So I'm not 100% sure what we want to do. Tapped right back into this 15-minute inversion here on NQ and pulled back on it. Now we're going back down. So a lot of orders to the downside on ES. Lucas, you might be oversized, man. That would be something that I dealt with. We're dumping down here on ES now. If you're feeling like, man, I got to just take profit, I gotta prevent a loss here, you might be oversized. That's something I've dealt with in my past. So I'd size down. I actually have 11:15 class today, Rowdy, unfortunately. Yeah. Fridays I have 11:15 and then a 2:30 recitation. Getting a pretty aggressive dump here on ES. I would imagine we're going to dump all the way down to 67.01 area potentially, but we do have a pretty big order here at 67.10. So we'll see what happens. You're in. Did you say you're in Scotland, Ben? Is that where you said you were? Oh, that's what I did this semester, Randall. I got the best I could. Next semester, it's going to be a whole different ball game. My first class is 8 a.m. Only on Thursdays though, but next semester it's going to be a tricky situation trying to balance streaming and trading. C-Bum is back. What I really wanted to see, since people are asking, I really wanted to see, and I'm still eyeballing it, is this daily wick from last Friday getting taken, and then I wanted to see this move up. But I don't really know what it wants. It's Friday. Price action's been weird. We've been dumping like crazy the past 2 or 3 days. So I'm just staying super patient. I'm gonna let the market kind of show me its hand, and then wait for the perfect time to react. It very well could, Travis. This wick low here on the S is what I'm really interested in. Got stopped. That sucks, dude. NQ's moving up. It's doing about the same thing ES is doing. It's just kind of being held up in this little area right here. You guys got to remember today's Friday too, so if you've had a good week, don't give the market anything back, and if you've had a bad week, don't make it worse. Just be super patient. One trade at a time, one day at a time. Ended up 1,500 on the week. There you go. Get even or get even worse. Don't do that. No longevity in that. Don't want to overshoot the trend. Yeah, I would just be super patient, man. Like Randall, I waited until 3:20 or something yesterday. I mean, what time was it when I executed that trade? Sometimes it takes all day for something to transpire that looks like it's worth taking. So 15:35. So what is that? Yeah, it's 3:35 actually. So 3:35 is when I took that trade yesterday. My indicator mirror is all you need. I would not recommend trading off of one indicator or off of an indicator at all, really. Got stopped out. Yeah, I took the long off of the daily gap that we tapped into. Pretty sure that's what it was. 4 straight green days this week, up 4,100. First full week of on a PA. There you go, man. That's awesome. What size account? Should be on the way to a payout, right? Then you asked, would we just take this low and then come back or keep going lower? I don't know. When we get to that level, if we do get to that level, you kind of have to assess the situation on the order book and see how price played coming down to that level. So there would be multiple factors you'd take into account when that happens. You couldn't just make a it wouldn't be useful to have a predetermined idea of what's going to happen. You have to play it by ear. Because what if all of a sudden we get some news or something right now and price just absolutely tanks? That whole idea that you have formed or that I would have formed goes out the window. Or what if we get to that level and all of a sudden some good news happens and it just like skyrockets and I had an idea that it was going to continue lower? Just kind of got to play it by ear. Lock and change between now and then. I made 2.5 on my first funded this week. There you go. Oh, evaluation. There you go. So mock, just in terms of verbiage, phraseology, a funded is the level after the evaluation. So once you pass the eval, then you have a funded account. But that's awesome, man. Keep that up. What size account is it? I think NQ's going to tap support and go higher. Yeah, we're digging into this. Could come down to that 15. Getting ready to sweep up some big orders on NQ or on ES down at 67.10, 67.11 area. $50K, dude. You're super close to passing then, right? 500 away, depending on the firm you're with. I think Alpha's 4K for some of their accounts. Yeah, Xander, I do have a girlfriend. Yeah, I do. Very lovely girlfriend. The castle symbols represent on Bookmap. I haven't seen that, Brian. I'm not sure what that is. Chat GPT it. Ask it, what do the cattle symbols represent on Bookmap? It'll usually be able to answer something like that. So you're right there, Mock. That's awesome, dude. That's really good for your first eval, man. That's a lot better than I did on my first eval. Or first dozen evals. New to all this trading stuff. Any tips? Spend more time on education than you do on buying things, on buying evals or putting your own money into it. Spend a lot of time on YouTube and take a lot of notes, watch a lot of people. And then once you get an idea of what's going on, find a strategy that is making sense to you and that you can clearly identify and stick with that. Don't strategy hop. My thinking is most strategies can be successful. It's all about your risk management and your psychology. So if you like ICT concepts, trade ICT. If you like order flow, trade order flow. If you like smart money concepts strictly, then trade that. But more important than anything is focus on your psychology and your risk management. After a lot of red days, I'm going to get my first 5K payout. That's awesome, dude. That is a great feeling. You're curious if it's luck? Well, we'll see how many times you can repeat it. I mean, if you can constantly repeat the results, then you got to decide whether that's luck or you got a skill that you've developed. What are some psychological tips? Don't overtrade. Don't remove the money from your mind. I know that's easier said than done, but there's ways to go about that. You can change your trading view. Somewhere in here, it'll allow you to change it from money to ticks. Somewhere in here, it'll be instead of value, it'll be let's see. Right here. So under the, when you go to settings and you go to trading, you can change this to ticks or percentage. I would do that. Yeah, and that allows you to remove the money idea from your head, because that messes with people's heads. So that's one way you can do it. Another psychological tip is, if you take a trade and you're up, walk away. Don't take another trade. If you take a trade and you're down, take a break for 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. Take one more trade for the day, and win or lose, walk away. Don't chase your losses. Chase the good setups. Let the good setups happen. Focus on that. Focus on the process. Changing candles from green and red helped me. Yeah, I think red has a psychological effect on a lot of people. So get rid of the red candles if you want. Some people say it's a weird thing, but for me it's helped. As you can see, I don't have red candles. White and black, Robbie, yeah. But that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not super convinced on longs either, man. We'll see though. Appreciate the gifts, Coop. Been trading for 2 months, and everyone on social media are saying it'll take years. It's different for everyone, man. It really is different for everyone. There's not one like timeline for every different person, or every single person. So if you're developing a system and a discipline, you might be predisposed to having a mindset that's more disciplined than other people. So that's the biggest thing. It's mastering the discipline and the psychology of trading. Once you do that, the rest kind of starts to take care of itself. I'm not convinced, dude. The book map is still lit up way more than to the downside than to the upside here. So I'm not fully convinced of the long, but we'll see what happens. Close this blind. Well, down to 700, 6,700 at least. There's orders down lower than that too. How many contracts do you use? Typically 1, 2, maybe. But if it's going to be like recently, if it's going to be something where it's we'll have, like yesterday, we were going to bounce off of a daily gap, and I knew we were going to get a strong pullback as soon as we hit that level. Some big orders coming in right now. Big sell order just came in. I'll throw on maybe 3 contracts, you know what I mean, and like look for this kind of really strong pullback and then get out of it pretty quickly. Not ideal. Wouldn't recommend it if you're new to trading, but you know, I'll do that sometimes. But most of the time, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'll trade with 1 mini. That's all I really need on ES or NQ. For evals, I'll do a lot more sometimes. Depends on the firm, for one, and depends on the setup. If it's an A+ setup and I'm trading Apex, I'll throw 3 or 4 contracts on easily, maybe more. Just get it done with. Yeah, price does seem to be topping out. I wish you know what I'm gonna do? Sorry guys over there on the tube. I'm gonna try to fix this real quick. those orders aren't loading down there, man. That's kind of frustrating. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. Hang on. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Robbie. It's got to be, right? I mean, I haven't had this issue before, and I haven't changed anything, so I'm not sure. They did an update. I bet I know what it is. They did when I opened Bookmap this morning, it had a software update that I had to do, and I bet it changed something when I did that. That's frustrating. Let's see. Why would they do that? Screwing with me. Pushing up here. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. Right now, Travis, I'm waiting to just let price play out, see what it does. I'm not seeing anything I'm interested in getting involved with. Boom. You can count on ChatGPT to help you out. Fix it. This is the 5 minute right here. Is Chart Champs reliable for backtesting? I'm not sure. I've never heard of them, to be completely honest. But I've used what I do. I don't really backtest that much anymore. But what I would recommend is TradeZilla has a really robust backtesting system. What's up, Sloan? How's it going, man? Rejecting pretty nicely off of that. What's your YouTube name? Christian Trades Live. Yeah, it's a lot better, isn't it, Robbie? It's trying to hide orders from us, man. That's why somebody called out. I think it was BR or BM or somebody in the chat earlier said, or BW, it was B something, called out levels, and I was like, I don't have that on mine, dude. And his Bookmap was cutting it off. Why would they change that setting on me like that? Was gonna enter short on the topic, but got scared. It's okay, man. No rush here to get involved in anything. Any big orders on top? No, not really. You got big orders below. You got 234 orders down at 6702.50 area. Didn't find my YouTube? Christian Trades Live. Let's see. Link in the chat. The God, why do you think ES is following NQ and not the other way around? Just a genuine question, not being sarcastic. It very well could, and it looks like it is, but I'm just curious what is leading you to that. Just pass my eval and top set? That's awesome, dude. It's a good feeling. There's no link. I just put it there. Here, I'll just copy the username. How long did you use TPT? I'm still using them. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not seeing a ton of volume on the Bookmap on NQ. I hate how stupid this looks. I see a couple big orders up to this 25.030 level, and then a little bit higher than that, but not tremendously. We'll see though. No, so I think both are good. I think both are pretty good. Did I not mark London on this? I didn't. Look at me slacking. Look at me slacking. I didn't mark out any of that. Holy cow. What was I thinking? Slipping, guys. I am slipping. Tells you what I was thinking, what direction I was thinking. I got us above there though. What are the mountains on the right side of Bookmap? Those are orders. That's the current order book and the session range volume profile. Full-time trader, yeah. Yeah, 20 push-ups. You would look for shorts at the rejection off of London High. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. But it could just continue, try to make up. You know, we've been getting some interesting price action. I think if it broke that Asia high, then I don't know. We'll see what happens. This Friday, I'm not I'm not getting too antsy over here. Inverted that 15 to the upside there. Pushing right back through it. Chairs made with the same material as your vest, yeah. Price action been odd. I'm not set on making a trade. Yeah, I'm not either, Robbie. I'm perfectly fine with not taking one at all, to be honest. I might throw a micro on and hold it for a minute and then close it just to get a trading day counted or something, but if we did sweep that London high and then showed clear signs of reversal, that's not a bad trade, but we'll see if that's what price wants to do. I wouldn't automatically take a short just off the sweep of the level. Still got Asia and New York PM and lunch high above that on NQ and ES. Danny, I'm not 100% sure what that means, but thank you, I think. Do I see better days? Absolutely, man. Figure out what's going wrong. Figure out, you need to be making sure you're journaling your trades and including your emotional state when you make those journaling entries, those journal entries, and identify what exactly is going on and what can be improved. Size down. Blessings and excellent day. That's what it says on Mexican. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ballas. What's your bio on YouTube? Should be similar to my TikTok, I think. Live daily. It says live daily. Yes, live daily. And then it has my Apex and bookmap code. Same picture as my TikTok. What am I trading? This is NASDAQ, S&P and NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ, S&P futures. C-Bum's brother. It's funny. Appreciate that, man. Trader just lost all his accounts because TradingView kept putting orders in. He couldn't close them. That sucks. Makes me want to sign out. No, we haven't taken a trade. Yeah, Ballas, I'm sorry about that. I can't get TikTok to remove those guys. That's why I posted that video. I just like the shorts because of setup for next week. True. I can see you thinking. What's my shoulder routine like? Side lateral raises, face pulls, dumbbell shoulder press. I do the lateral raises with the cable machine and with dumbbells. Side lateral raises, front lateral raises. I get on the pec deck and do the rear flies, and then I like to do cable rear delt flies. Just got 3 counts of 220. Just came to say, have a good day, man. I'm done for the day. Catch you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Saturday, but I appreciate that, Acid. I appreciate that. I'll catch you on Monday. Congrats, man. That's awesome. C-Bum counter. I'm going to put that on my chart, or put that on the stream. Oh, fuck, I got to roll, man. I got 20 minutes to get to class. Do all of your trade include a liquidity of some sort? Yes, absolutely. Liquidity is the driver of price action. How do you stay so patient? I got tired of losing. I'm tired of getting my butt handed to me. And I know that the setup that I want or that I'm comfortable trading will come, whether it's, I mean, it might not come today, but when it does come, I'll make enough money off of it that I don't need to rush into trades that I'm not comfortable with. No, Dallas, probably not. I got a class here until 12, and then I got to do lunch, and I got to do some work, and then I got recitation at 2:30. So probably will not be live, but I'll be back on Monday, and I'm planning to put some content out for you guys on TikTok and on YouTube this weekend. So stay tuned for that. But I do have to roll here. I got to get to class, unfortunately. I appreciate you guys being here, though. If you're green, call it a day, walk away, have a good weekend, enjoy yourself. If you're red, don't make it worse, walk away, enjoy yourself. Unless we get, I'd keep an eye on if we get a turnaround at one of these key levels, but this could just continue higher, just be, slowly going higher. My fear would be getting into a long and then having, this could be, again, like I've talked about, the staircase up and the elevator down. So my fear with a long is getting into a trade here and then have the bottom drop out on you. The probability with this price action is not super high of that happening, but it's always a possibility. So keep that in mind if you do take another trade. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. God bless you. Have a safe weekend. Randall, appreciate you being here. Robbie, appreciate you being here. Travis, thank you. Everybody over there on the YouTube, I appreciate you guys. So you guys take care. You're actually struggling finding the YouTube? It's in my link tree. If you go to my link tree in my bio, you'll be able to. It's in there. I can't put the YouTube itself in the bio because I'm limited on how many characters I can use. But it's just Christian Trades Live. It's my name, Trades Live. Yeah. So we'll see you guys. Have a blessed weekend. Take care. Appreciate that, Randall. Thanks, Robbie. You guys have a good weekend.